to Bibliophiles Audiophiles. That was really bad.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it. Just because you said yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Welcome back. This episode is gonna be a special episode.
Oh, yes.
Put on by yours truly.
You.
Me.
Yeah.
Because I saw this and I was like, we're doing it. I don't care what you say. Suffer. So this episode...
If you know us, no you don't.
No, you don't, yeah. So for my mom and my mother-in-law, please skip this episode. Love you. So this episode is called Dinosaur Erotica by Lola Faust.
Yeah, Lola Faust.
It's Faust.
I thought
Faust.
Faust. I thought Faust.
But Faust would be Fou, wouldn't it? Fall.
Lola, if you're listening to this,
How do you pronounce your name, Loca? That's my new personality trait right now. I'm trying it out.
Beautiful.
Thanks. Okay, so she has wrote 5 books, but they are short, and I have wrote down the page numbers on all of these.
Oh.
Yes. So that way we can tell you, like, you know, how many pages are in it. I don't think you have to read these books. Like, if you want to not waste several hours of your life, don't read these books. Because they were a waste, but they were worth it.
We'll get to that later.
No. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
I know you're really excited.
I am super
like a little
stoned.
puppy.
Yeah, I forgot.
But, we'll get to that when we get there.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, okay? Man, I don't need to play Chinchilla right now. Okay, so the first book is Wet Hot Allosaurus Summer by Lola Faust. It is 172 pages. Here is the description. Tanis was a simple country girl, desperate to escape life on the farm. Big Al was everything she was lusting for, a sexy bad boy carnosaur from the wrong side of the food chain. Would their forbidden love tear her family or her flesh apart? In all these books, there are included short stories at the end. I did not know that until the second book, so I did not read the short stories for the first book.
Because she read this before I did,
yeah, I
asked her if she did, because I knew we didn't write that title down or whatever. So when she told me she didn't read it, I didn't read it either.
Yeah.
So we didn't read those.
Yeah. Oops.
Do you have trigger warnings?
Trigger warnings. I
think
sure
this
do.
This one had like a whole 3 pages full of trigger warnings.
Oh, it was a lot. But these are the ones on Storygraph. Yeah, at the beginning of all these books, there's trigger warnings, but I didn't write that down.
I don't remember it in the other ones. I just remember it in this one though.
Yeah, I think it may only just be in this one then. Sexual content, injury detail, gore, death, emotional abuse, gun violence, animal death, rape, sexual assault.
Yep.
No, I'm not done yet.
Oh, really?
I had hit see more and it had to load.
Oh. Well, when you hit see more,
cursing, body horror, cannibalism, blood, kidnapping, fire injury, animal death, and I think that's it. Did I say body horror? Because body horror is on here too. There were a lot.
Yeah. For a short book.
Yeah, for a book that's less than 200 pages, that's a lot.
Yeah. I forgot I was doing reviews.
Sorry.
Okay, reviews. Anyways, the average rating for this was a 1.95.
This is officially the lowest one that we've done
so far.
Congratulations, Lola Faust.
So, 2 stars. I don't really write reviews often, but here goes. Our book club selected this as one of our reads this month, and why wouldn't we?
Yeah, that's exactly where we are.
Yeah.
Why not?
This is another 2-star. This was unhinged. That's in bold. A collection of short stories all about the love between humans and dinosaurs in a Jurassic Park-ish world. This was silly and unhinged, but I had a good time. This one has no stars written on it. But I feel like this description needed to be included in this.
Mm-hmm.
Look. I went into this having accidentally read a Lola whatever her last name is book before, because I just saw a cool dinosaur looking and didn't read the description, yet I still clicked on this and read it. What does that say about me? You decide. This one also no stars written next to it, but says deeply unserious at every turn. This one's a 3-star that says 2.5 stars underneath it. But it's I read this and suffered so my friends didn't have to. Well written though. This is the last one. It's also a 3-star. Considering how this is romantic trash, it's actually pretty good, and it has a plot and a story and moves quickly. I enjoyed most of it. So that's that. Now I guess we want to go into what we thought about it.
There's some spoilers coming up, sweetie. You better cover your ears.
First thought.
Unrealistic. I know it's supposed to be unrealistic. Because,
like,
I mean, it's
obviously dinosaurs.
It's human and dinosaur yucking.
Yeah. You know.
But... I thought it was cool that, like, it takes place in, like, a future world where, like, dinosaurs are brought back to life and they're given, like, jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this is so highly unrealistic.
Have you ever read the Lunar Chronicles?
No.
Honestly, I don't know why, but the series was giving Lunar Chronicles lunar, like Lunar, because it's basically, like, you know, fairy tales like Cinderella and Little Red Riding Hood, like, futurized. But, like, the fact that she was on a farm and it was still the future reminded me of... the one that was Scarlet is what it's called, because that's exactly, they had like hovers that floated and like alien craft kind of stuff, but it was still a farm. And so I hated the farm aspect of this.
Yeah.
But it was only mentioned for like 5 pages.
Yes.
Like the rest of the book, it was not in there.
Yes.
Personally, I think Dad caused the daddy issues with the abuse.
Yes.
Because that's why she wanted a dino daddy.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. You know what I was also curious about, and I did this for each book, so we'll go over this during each book, but, so... the dinosaur lover that we have here is an Allosaurus, right? Do you know how big an Allosaurus is?
I have a little brother that is into dinosaurs, so yes, I know exactly what they look like, you know, all that kind of crap. I don't know exactly how big they are.
Do you want to know? Because I wrote it down.
Actually, yeah, I want to know.
16.5 feet tall. Yeah.
Unless this was a dwarf Allosaurus, I don't think a lot of this is going to work.
Like I said, highly unrealistic for that.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, they are mutated dinosaurs. They're not natural-born dinosaurs, so what if, during mutation, they became small?
I mean, but that doesn't make sense, because a lot of the stuff they do is, like, big construction stuff.
That's true.
So why would you have a tiny dinosaur taking care of all this big construction stuff?
That's true. I did not even think about that. Yeah. I think the communication devices were so smart.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, because I was like, I'm like, how are they going to communicate? I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
And like how they'd actually do it, but I thought that was really cool.
Oh. And so, like, you know, she runs away with the dinosaur, right? And the dad's chasing her with the gun. Yeah. And then he shoots her.
Because she was drawing dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And he's like, best course of action.
But he was trying to shoot the dinosaur, but ended up shooting her arm.
I don't think he really cared.
No. But the point I'm trying to make is, after that, because she was injured, this dinosaur really just ate her arm.
Yeah, and she's like, well,
go have at it.
Ain't got nothing for it now. And then later...
she could have healed.
I'm going to jump ahead. But later, she compares it to a Snickers bar.
No, she did it right afterwards.
Was it right after? I thought it was later. But anyways, so she was like, I wonder if it was like a Snicker bar, because it's like smooth and crunchy. Snicker bars were my favorite candy until this point. I was in a gas station the other day after reading this, and I reached for a Snicker bars, gagged, and then grabbed something else. Because I could not, because this book ruined. I've never had a book ruin something for me before.
I'm disgusting, so it's going to take something really hard to ruin something for me.
Bad. I'm just like, ugh.
This didn't reach that yet.
So I literally physically gagged when I was reaching for it. I'm like, I can't believe that ruined my favorite candy bar.
Yeah. It's gross. I didn't like it, but it's not gross enough to turn me away from Snicker bars.
I wrote, her dad shot her worst dad of the year award.
Understatement?
Really, understatement of the century. Oh, and then I said, I'm sorry, he ate her arm.
Yeah. I wrote in caps, bro, really just ate her arm.
It says that it was like gray and lost the blood flow, and she's just like, well, guess you better eat it. And I'm like, there's like other courses of action.
Yeah, that arm totally could have been saved.
Yeah.
But, you know.
So they're mated on page 23. That's fast. because they all of a sudden she was like, "Oh, I love dinosaurs." And page 23, I'm gonna mate with this dinosaur.
But didn't they have like a ritual she had to take place in?
No.
Was that this one?
Yeah, no. That was whenever they went to the
Sanctuary?
Yeah, the sanctuary, the dino human sanctuary. We'll get to that later. We can't jump ahead. I have so many notes between here and there.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding. So they ran to a sex camp, basically. Big Al ran off with another woman as soon as they got there, and now some other lady is having her way with Tanis. She went from a virgin to a threesome fast. Because, like, literally, they walked up, and this lady's like, "Come with me, dinosaur," rips off her clothes. They go into a bush, and this other lady's like, "Come here, sweetie, let me help you out." Goes elbow deep up in there, and I'm like,
"Oh, yeah.
Bruh.
I forgot about that.
Bruh. I'm just like, you personally, I fornicated before. I'm not new to this, but an elbow? She said her forearm was gone. I'm like, how does that work?
You do remember, though, that this lady, and she's had these relations with this dinosaur prior to them going to the sanctuary.
Yeah.
This 16-and-a-half-foot dinosaur.
Yeah.
Put his little pee-pee inside of her. So
oh, it
the
wasn't
fact
little.
that... Exactly. That's the point. So if she could fit that inside of her, there's obviously a way for her to shove a whole arm up there, you know?
Man, I really hope my mother-in-law skipped this episode. And my mom. I don't know. My mom is probably listening, honestly, because she doesn't listen to me when I tell her not to do stuff. So, hi, Mom. Yeah, but for real. They're just like, "Oh, we're in a sex club, we're all, we're taking turns, getting jiggy with it, mating with dinosaurs." And they're like, "It's not your turn." And then, Big Al just like, "See ya," grabs her, runs, and I'm like, the tent had her tent had like columns, and they were shaped like dinosaur. Oops. I laughed so hard when it was like, "Oh, they showed me a tent," and I turn around and it's a dinosaur, and I'm like, "Oh." the decor.
I don't remember that. I'm glad I don't.
No, like literally it mentioned like how it looked, and like it was like veiny. So, yeah, I know, it was bad, but I laughed I'm so inappropriate, but I laughed so hard when I read that. I was just like, man, the decor choices. Yeah, then she's in a threesome with like some chick dinosaur, some human chick, and then she's just, laying there like, "I don't really know what to think about this. Where's Big Al?" And Big Al's out in the woods, some lady. He just ripped her dress off of her. I don't know why, but that bothered me so much.
The fact that he
what's going on?
Cheated on her?
Literally, like no words were exchanged. He walked up, saw this lady, and was like, "You're mine now." Ripped her clothes off. Yeah, and then like Tanis is just standing there, like like the emoji of the girl, just standing there with her arms out. That's what I imagine her being like, just standing there, like, what do I do now?
Aside from that, though,
sorry, I keep going on tangents.
No, you're good. Besides like all this like random plot stuff, one of the things I noticed is I could be wrong.
Okay,
I'm really bad with writing. Mm-hmm. I think, or at least I used to be.
I don't know.
I think she accidentally changed tenses throughout the book. There's parts where like there weren't like quotation marks, so it was kind of hard to know what was said and stuff like that. So I didn't like that. I wish it was a little more clear when stuff like that would happen.
I read this on my Kindle, and like how you can like say like this is wrong, and can you do that on the phone on the app?
I probably can. I've never done it though.
On the Paperwhite. Mm-hmm. When you're reading, you can like highlight something and be like, make a note for the publisher or the writer, whatever, the author, and change it to what it was and what it should be. Mm-hmm. I did that a few times because names are wrong, sentences are wrong, punctuation was messed up. But I probably am such a negative Nancy.
Yeah.
My middle name's Karen. No, it's really not. But no, yeah. I like how they have jobs at the slaughterhouse.
Oh yeah, that was this book.
Yeah.
That
makes
sense.
Yeah, she's like, "I'm looking for work. Can you pay me in meat, like cow brains?" And the guy's like, "Sure." Yeah, little lady, we can do that. Yeah.
Doesn't even question the fact she's living in like a horse trailer.
A horse trailer, doesn't take a shower.
Which again, unrealistic because this dinosaur is definitely way too big to fit in a horse trailer.
Yeah.
Unless maybe if you put him sideways.
And then he, like, discovers the dinosaur, and he's like, hell, he can come to work, too. And I'm like, okay. Did she start getting paid in money, or did they just both continue getting paid in meat? I would hope that she got money and he got meat. He disposed of the meat. He ate it.
Yeah.
He ate the meat, yeah. And then he gave them a house.
Oh, yeah, that was
That
sweet.
made me feel so good.
That was
That was
sweet.
the only thing that I really loved about this book, was he was like, yeah, I got this house I've been trying to sell. Nobody bought it. You can have it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh. And then they got an orphan egg.
Oh, yeah.
That made me feel so good. I was like, oh,
Sweet.
that's an HEA if I've ever seen one. Happily ever after.
That's pretty much all I wrote for those.
Yeah. Did you do buzzwords or no?
Not really buzzwords, but like comments.
What were they?
Funny and editing errors.
Yeah, there were editing errors. My buzzwords were Wattpad worthy, short, and wild.
Wild for sure. It was a roller coaster.
Did you rate them separately or just all together?
I rated them separately.
I did too. Okay, so what was yours for this one?
I was struggling because one of the things is like it started off okay.
Yeah.
But then throughout it, I did kind of want to DNF it just because it was it's the unrealistic part of it.
It was so everywhere. Like,
yeah,
chaotic.
that.
Yeah.
So I made it a 1.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
I might consider dropping it though.
To a 0 out of 5?
Maybe a 1.
I am going to change mine as well, because going over the notes again, I didn't like it as much as I thought I did.
Yeah.
Like, I originally gave it a 3 out of 5, but I'm probably going to go ahead and give it a 2.
Really? You gave it a 3?
I did give it a 3.
Dang.
But I'm going to give it a 2 now.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was very unrealistic, and it was like, you know, a virgin girl on a farm, a threesome in a sex camp.
Yeah.
We're living in a trailer. We have a house, we have an egg. And I'm just like, that's...
I think if it
Wow.
was a little more realistic.
Like,
and-
more in-depth.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
could have been better.
Yeah. So 2 out of 5 for me, and a 0 out of 5 for you.
No, a 1 out of 5.
A 1 out of 5.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lola.
Yeah,
You know,
sorry.
it's not
I
our
feel
cup of
bad,
tea.
but like,
Yeah.
you know.
Next book. Yeah, we're trying to do this all in one episode.
So this might be a lengthy one, but
might be lengthy. Like
which one are we doing next?
Dino Stud.
Okay.
Is number 2. Description for Dino Stud. It is: dinosaurs are her life, but will they be the death of her? I don't know why I read it like that. Aspiring paleontologist Tallulah Cole. I love her name, by the way. Tallulah. That's such a pretty name.
I don't.
What?
I'm sorry.
What about Tanis? Did you like
We
Tanis?
are all entitled to our opinions, ma'am.
What about Tanis? Did you like Tanis?
No.
I don't like Tanis either, but I like Tallulah.
Eh.
Anywho, aspiring paleontologist Tallulah Cole thought she'd won the lottery with a summer job at the Dino Ranch, the most advanced dinosaur research facility in the West, and with its brilliant and gorgeous chief scientist, Reed Canmore. But the ranch holds secrets in its forested acres and pristine laboratories. Is it love that's awakening, or something much darker? The newest novel in Lola Faust acclaimed dinosaur erotica line. Also look for Wet Hot Allosaurus Summer, Triceratops and Bottoms, Tyrannosaurus Sext, and How Stego Got His Groove Back.
Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I had to go through and try to find my ratings because I screenshotted them all.
Yeah.
When we got to this one, because I would screenshot the page so I knew which book it was.
There's no content warnings for this? Do we need to do content warnings on every single book, or no?
Should we?
No, they're all the same.
They're all the same.
Yeah,
So if you
okay,
need to know
sorry.
content warnings, refer back to the ones we did for the last one.
Yeah. Sorry.
But this is Dino Stud.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was screenshotting my reviews that I was going to read, I was screenshotting the page so I knew which book it was, and then screenshotting the reviews, and then screenshotting the next one.
Yeah.
I forgot to do that for this one, so I had to figure out.
Oh my goodness, I had to figure out which one was which.
Because I had a lot. So Dino Stud, average rating for this one was a 2.83. The first review I got here is a 3-star. This was a fun romp and fits in well to the series. I like the DNA twist. 2.5 star. This was dumb, but it was 100 pages and the cover is amazing. So there you go. We have a bunch of questions about the book, specifically about the hero, Reed. That's a spoiler, I ain't reading that. The objective review is based on a complimentary copy of the novella. So she got a complimentary?
Aw.
Must be nice. 3.5 stars. Before that one, there's a 4-star that said, I liked it. And then there's a 3.5 star that says, this was such a fun read. It was a lot different from her other books, but in a good way. I love the banter between Reed and Tallulah, the mystery behind Reed and the ranch, plus who doesn't love a romance with mixed with Jurassic Park, plus getting a complete story. The only thing I did not like was it took a really long time for the spice, and it was very short scene. And that's that.
But the first one was like backstory smut, but this one actually had more story to it.
Yes, it did.
I loved that this one had more story to it. We're jumping ahead. Shut up.
Yeah, so let's in that case, let's hop on over to the spoiler warning for this. Although I don't know if anyone's gonna actually plan on reading it, but in case you are,
There's some spoilers coming up, sweetie. You better cover your ears.
Thank you, James. That was beautiful, sir.
yes.
Number 2, Dino Stud, had 112 pages.
My first note was feels promising.
It did feel very promising.
Yeah, in the beginning,
Yeah,
was
but
just like, this might be good.
My first note, I wrote like one chapter in, I think, like the end of the first chapter.
Yeah.
Story has more personal detail so far.
Yes.
But I just made a note just now. Again, with the half-naked man cover. Because, like I said, I would never read a book with
Yeah.
Yeah, so far this is, what, 3?
Yeah.
Are we counting dinosaurs? Are the naked dinosaurs?
I don't know.
No. Okay.
Probably not. It's an animal.
I love Tallulah and Reed, like 4 chapters in.
Me too.
I love their
Me too.
personality.
I love
and their banter.
that.
Yeah.
Also, in terms of the ones we've read for this was the last one I read between all the dinosaur books.
Why?
Because I had to pay for this one.
Oh.
The
Yeah.
other ones were all on KU, by the way,
yeah.
guys.
I know, but this one was only like $5, $4,
$3, I think.
$3.
$2.99.
It was definitely under 5. I
Yeah,
know that. Yeah.
$2.99. So I didn't mind paying for it.
Yeah.
Because it was cheap.
Yeah.
Could have been cheaper. But I read this one last just because I had to pay for it, and I wanted to get through all the ones I could read on KU first.
Yeah.
So this was the last one I read out of them all, which is
I
why
like this one the most.
you like this one the most.
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah.
I did think it needed better breaks between scenes, though. Like there wasn't like a stark difference between when stuff would happen. You know,
Yeah.
like it just
It could have been longer.
it could have been. What's the best way to explain it? Like, you know when like you're reading a book, obviously because you read a lot of books, and it'll play out a scene, and then there might be like a little symbol to break up the scene.
Yeah.
But there really
Like,
wasn't.
not the next chapter, but like
it's
a
still,
pause.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there
okay.
wasn't that there. Like
Yeah.
you couldn't tell until
would
you
just
started
jump to the
reading
next
it. It
thing.
would just jump. So I wish there was a better separation of stuff like that.
Yeah.
I also enjoyed the fact that she didn't hanky panky with an animal.
Yeah, I know. Well,
DNA twist. He's not one.
he's
Kind of.
kind of
But he's
one.
more human than the other
he's
ones.
more human. But
he's way more human than the other ones.
yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
So I enjoyed.
I like the way that Reed plays with the dinosaurs. You know,
Yeah,
like
that's
she's like
so
watching them through the
sweet.
kitchen window, and he's
Yeah.
like out there playing with the babies.
That was
That's
sweet.
I know. I was like, I imagine Reed as the guy from Jurassic Park. You know, he's also in the superhero world.
Chris Pratt.
Yes, yeah. I imagine Chris Pratt as Reed.
Okay.
Mhm.
I didn't.
Who did you imagine? If you say an old guy again, I'm gonna beat you. Like, I'm actually gonna take off my tennis shoe and beat you with it.
I'm trying to think of how I pictured him.
I just imagine Chris Pratt immediately.
I kind of got tall, muscular, okay, but with a mustache. Like, you've seen Night at the Museum.
Yes.
Theodore Roosevelt, so Robin Williams'
Yeah,
character, a
yeah.
mustache like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had a mustache. I forgot, but I pictured a mustache like that, like blonde, dirty blonde,
Yeah.
white male, obviously. 'Cause,
Wait, yeah.
you know,
You sound racist.
I do, but like, I really don't think. I feel like a white man would be dumb enough to like
Oh yeah, for sure. They're
To-
always the first to die.
the
Anytime
first to
there's
die,
like a
to, like,
thriller, a horror movie.
do with stuff with dinosaurs. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like that sounds really racist.
Yeah, no.
but-
Chris Pratt is like, man, look at this dinosaur. Oh, it's gonna bite me. It's gonna bite me. But he's a white guy.
Truth be told, though, I've never watched any of the Jurassic movies. Yeah, I'm an awful human being. I'm
Are you
sorry.
serious?
I've never seen a single
You
one.
read about dinosaur sex and you haven't even seen Jurassic Park or Jurassic World?
Nope.
Your dad failed you.
Yeah.
Well, at least you know it. I love the mystery around Reed and the ranch, but like whenever they got to like the house party that Reed threw because what's her name, Tallulah, got there, I was like, bro, secretly a dinosaur. He's got to be.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you didn't need to. I had a feeling.
Yeah. Especially because he like died mysteriously, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's giving secret dinosaur.
Yeah.
But the house was giving. Have you ever read or watched Twilight?
I've seen clips. I've never read Twilight. I don't have a desire
Have you ever
to.
seen a clip that had the Cullen house and it was like made out of glass?
Is that the one where
All the walls were just glass windows.
I might have, but
That's what I imagine
is that
this
the
guy's
same
house.
one where like you remember? This is a clip I've seen, so like I've never seen it, but it's in the last one where Bella's standing on the stairs and she's like, "You imprinted on my daughter."
Yeah,
is that the same house?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay. So then, yeah,
It's just all glass. Yeah. Bella, where the hell you been, Lola? Okay, sorry. I said, is Reed secretly a dinosaur? And then my very next note, Reed is secretly a dinosaur.
You know what's interesting though is like they obviously want all this to be like a secret.
Yeah.
But like, how are her parents like not worried or concerned or anything?
Bro, it's like, give me your phone. And then, she didn't have the phone. And then she's like, can I call my parents? And they're like, no,
yeah,
not till you
no,
leave.
we took care of it. Don't worry about that.
We took care of it. We're sorry to inform you your daughter died. Like, I mean, that's like the only thing you can do. Like, personally, if my daughter disappeared off the face of the earth, I'd want to know where she was.
Yeah.
I'd move heaven and earth to find her.
Yeah.
But these parents are just like, no, we got some letter saying she's fine. She'll be alright. Yeah. That bothers me so much.
I just...
Yeah, personally, I couldn't.
I did almost want to DNF it, though.
Why?
It kind of got, I don't know, slightly boring.
Yeah, it did.
Slightly boring.
Because there was no dinosaur sex in this one. There's only like one smut scene. It was like the very end.
I don't know. Like, it didn't grab me.
Yeah.
But then again, spoiler for all of them, they all didn't really grab me.
Yeah. Honestly, I was kind of just read them for...
Yeah.
The cringe.
Yeah.
That was the only thing powering me through it. I did give this one a 4 out of 5, though, because it had more plot.
Really?
I did. I really enjoyed the story.
I gave it a 3, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
A 3.
I like the story. It was missing a lot.
Yeah.
And it could have been better.
There were editing errors in this, too.
Yeah. But, like, the thought of working at a secret dinosaur place that, nobody knows about, it's only, like... hush hush. Mm-hmm. I really like that aspect of it.
I did too.
I thought it was really cool.
I enjoyed that, but
especially because there was a hunky dino man.
I like the fact that this was a human
human dino.
That she was
no bestiality here, sis.
Yes.
Yeah.
This one I am okay with people knowing that I read the book. You know what I mean?
I read this one. I didn't read any of the rest of them though.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm okay with people knowing I read this because it's not as weird as the other ones.
I read the short stories, but I didn't make any notes because they weren't good enough.
Was there short stories at the end of this one?
I'm pretty sure there was at all of them.
I know it was the other ones, but I don't remember one of this one.
Maybe not.
I didn't write any notes about it either. I didn't write that many notes on this one.
My buzzwords were only one smut scene, so it wasn't super cringe. Buzzwords: cool, slow burn, likable characters.
I wrote editing errors and more realistic than the others.
Yeah, it was very realistic compared to the rest.
Not very realistic, but like...
It was kind of realistic compared to the rest.
I can believe this being something that legit could happen in the world more than the other ones. That's that.
So the third book is Triceratops and Bottoms, but apparently I forgot to tell Alyssa to read that one.
I didn't know we were doing all of them.
I'm sorry. This is my favorite one though, because I was the most excited to talk to you about this one because of how messed up it is.
There was a preview of it at the end of one of the books, and I started reading it.
So part of it, kind of?
Part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
But then I didn't finish it because I'm like, well, I'm not going to finish reading it if
it's only 72 pages, so it's really not big at all.
Yeah.
And then,
I don't mind you just telling me about it.
Okay. My first note is, hi, I'm Erin. I like alien orgies and sex adventures. Page 3. Basically, it's like this lady who has all these sexual adventures, and then she gets bored. And so, like, this is like way in the future, right?
Right.
And so she's like, man, I've had alien orgies, and I've had all these cool, sex adventures with multiple people, multiple genders, multiple species. And then she's like, man, I'm bored. She's literally in her apartment, getting off, thinking of how bored she is. I'm not even exaggerating. And then all of a sudden, this company is like, we have created this virtual reality adventure thing. You can go anywhere in any time period.
I remember that.
Yeah, and so it's like this VR cocoon thing. I said the VR cocoon sounds amazing, and it's sex. Because she was like, man, I gotta go. So she goes to like the showing, and they're like, we made a time machine. Try it. You might be okay. And then she's like, oh, for adventure. And so she hops in. She goes to the Cretaceous period or whatever, however you say that.
You're right.
Yeah. And then like, I gave her props because I'm like, at least she's nervous. Like a normal person would be. She's not hopping in there like, yeah, let's go. She's in there like, oh my God, what am I doing? Why am I here? Yeah. So I was like, at least you seem, you're not like the white guy in a horror movie. You know you're going to die. Yeah. And, she's like, oh, she met this Triceratops. And she's like, I feel a personal connection with this Triceratops. Yeah. And then I said, oh, so her and Triceratops are going from friends to lovers. Because they were just buddies, swimming and doing, having fun in the jungle. And then she done gone and stripped for a dinosaur weirdo because they were in a cave drying off after they swam. And then she's like, man, these clothes are wet. What am I going to do? And so she starts stripping by this fire in this cave. And the Stegosaurus is just watching her. And she's like, ooh, sensually dancing. And then I'm like, I'm just imagining someone out there actually turned on by this. Ross from Friends, probably. Dinosaurs. But I wrote that when it was to the part where she was stripping. And so she's like stripping. And then she goes over and like starts like rubbing her boobs on his face and like rubbing it all sensually. Which is Stegosauruses are pretty big. Triceratops. They're even bigger. Yeah, they're huge.
10 feet tall and 30 feet long.
I'm so glad you researched this.
I just did just now.
But like she's just over there like sensually rubbing a Triceratops.
Do you want to know how much they weigh?
How much do they weigh?
12 tons.
I think it did mention his weight in this book.
That's about 160 people.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, she done gone and stripped for a dinosaur. So she's becoming a dino whore, basically. First the Triceratops, then the Plesiosaurus, and now a pterodactyl. Because after the Triceratops, she's like, I gotta go back to my time. And she goes back to her time. And then they're like, yo, you want to time travel again? And she's like, yeah, man. So then she jumps back in it, and this time it's with a Plesiosaurus, which is a Plesiosaurus. My little brother loves dinosaurs. That's an ocean dinosaur. Oh. I'm talking...
Oh, no.
I thought you were having a stroke, and it scared me to death.
A lie.
Oh, my gosh. Anyways.
Sorry.
Yeah, so a Plesiosaurus is like an ocean. It's like a mix. It looks like the Loch Ness Monster.
I was picturing a Leopleurodon, like from Charlie the Unicorn.
No, it's a Plesiosaurus. And then she's like, we're swimming. I'm touching you sensually.
I hate this.
She didn't have sex with a Plesiosaurus. She just got to third base with him. But the pterodactyl, she full on yucked in the air.
I don't understand how anyone finds that appealing.
Unless you're Ross from Friends. But yeah, then she goes back and she gets with the Carnotaurus, which is they're pretty big and pretty scary looking too. And then of course here comes the threesome with a dino. Because she went back to I'm sorry, this is my favorite one out of all of them, and you didn't get to read it. Yes, it was. Sorry. This is my favorite one out of all of them.
Honestly, I probably would have DNF'd it anyway.
So she goes back, right? Because I just kept reading it because I'm like, this can't get any crazier. Next page, whoa, it got crazier. And so, she goes back, and they're like, man, you've time traveled enough. Are you mentally okay? And then she's like, I don't get to have any more dino sex. And then this lady sends her, a letter, and then she's like, you need to come meet with me. And this lady's like, I know what you've done, because apparently they've been recording. Yeah, apparently they record you when you time travel. So, everyone has seen her fucking dinosaurs. And this lady's like, man, I saw your footage and I loved it. I want to try, you know.
Yeah.
And she's like, I got these 2 time travel passes. You want to time travel with me? And she's like, oh yeah, girl, I'm basically a pro at this. Let's go. And then so, yeah, they travel back in time. And, man, I forgot what it was. I think it was the Carnotaurus. But no, it's some kind of dinosaur, bro. And then this lady's like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. And then Aaron is like, just grab its... No, but seriously, she was like, you just rub it a little bit, and, you know, you just kind of like, you know, they both hopped on its back and, like, rode it until completion. And I'm just imagining a dinosaur sitting there with 2 girls just humping it and just be like, what are y'all doing up there, you know? I'm just like, man. And then... I'm pretty sure I know they had a threesome, but I can't remember exactly who. Somebody was getting ate out while the other one was getting fiacked by the dinosaur. I'm telling you, it was
a wild ride.
It was something. It was a wild ride. And then so I was just like, this can't get any worse. And then you go to the next page and it's worse. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this can't get any worse. Of course, it ended with a threesome. This was my I still rated it a 2 out of 5.
And yet it's your favorite one.
It's my favorite because...
And you rated Dino Stud a 4.
I know, but this one just kept getting... It kept getting worse, but in, like, a good way, you know? I might honestly change my rating to a 4. Bro, it was like... It was such a wild ride. Because it's like, man, I'm tired of my alien orgies. Let's have sex with a dinosaur! And I'm like, bruh... Let's have sex with another dinosaur, bruh. Let's have sex with another dinosaur. I'm like, bruh. Let's have a threesome. And I'm like, bruh. It just kept getting worse, but better.
Honestly, because I read the little sneak peek.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
I don't think you would have liked it.
I probably would have DNF'd it.
Yeah, I kept reading because I was like, oh my gosh, this is awful.
I probably, if I had the full story, I probably would have forced myself to read it. But because I thought you didn't read it, I didn't finish it. I was just like, I'm okay with not finishing this.
Haley, have you ever seen like a train wreck video? It's like you want to look away, but like you can't. And that's exactly what this was. It was a train wreck. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I wrote my buzzwords were cringe, smut, and train wreck because I'm like, you couldn't look away. Oh. I could not put it down. It was awful.
Ooh, okay.
But yeah, I'm sorry.
That was a trip. And I didn't even read it.
Man, I'm just like, there's so many times I just read it to my husband, like, get a load of this. And I read it to him. He does make fun of dino porn too, just like the ogre porn. And then he was like, why are you reading this? And I was like, for the content, baby. But man, I'm sweating so much because I got so excited talking about that. But yeah, that was my favorite one. 4 out of 5 for the Triceratops and bottoms.
It's got a funny name though.
Man, they were tops and bottoms.
Oh. Clearly.
It was bad. Anywho, this is apparently going to be a 2-part episode.
We were really hoping we were striving for one.
We were really striving for one, but it's not going to happen.
There's just a lot.
There's so much.
I feel like we read too much of this, but we have to talk about it.
I know. Like, I was ready to quit after this one. But we've still got 3 more stories to talk about, baby. I'm so tired. You can go ahead. It's like
so Instagram is at Biblio Audio Podcast. You can check that out because it's cool if you haven't already. You can email us at biblioaudiopod@gmail.com. Send us reviews, especially if they're stuff that's about
dinosaur erotica.
No,
please God, no.
Anything
never again.
No, we're down to read weird stuff like this.
Yeah, so you don't have to.
So you don't have to. So
yeah,
send it if you want. That it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right. See you at the end of the week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.